lot of great characters in the 6 Jurassic World movies that have currently been released, and many of them have gotten figures in Mattel's Jurassic World toy line, but there are still many characters that haven't. So today, I'd like to talk about 10 characters that I'd like to see get made as figures. Starting off with the Lost World, there are 4 characters that I'd like to see, the first 3 of which would round out Hammond's research team, with Eddie Carr, Nick Van Owen, and Ian's daughter Kelly Malcolm. The Lost World is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think these 3 would really go a long way in making a Lost World display feel more complete. The 4th and final character from the Lost World I'd like to see is Peter Ludlow, who I really enjoyed as the villain in the film, and I think he would go great with the baby T-Rex, the buck T-Rex, as well as the previously released Roland Tembo. Moving on to Jurassic Park 3, so far the only human figure that's been released is the Hammond Collection Alan Grant that also came with the female Velociraptor. But there's many more characters from the movie that we don't have figures of yet, 3 of which are Paul Kirby, Billy Brennan, and Udesky. And while Paul and Billy both got 3 3/4 inch figures in Hasbro's Jurassic Park 3 line, I'd love to see them get more accurate figures in Mattel's line since they're 2 of my favorite characters in the franchise. In particular, Billy could come with the Dinosaur Parasail as an accessory and would go great with the previously released Amber Collection Pteranodon. Udesky, on the other hand, has never been released as a figure, nor has any of the other mercenaries from Jurassic Park 3, but I picked Udesky in particular because he survives the longest in the film, and you get to know him a little better than Cooper or Nash, even though I like to see all of them get made as figures eventually. Moving on to the Jurassic World films, there are many characters from Jurassic World that haven't been made into figures. So far the only characters we have gotten are Owen, Barry, and Jimmy Buffett from his cameo during the pterosaur attack scene, but one that I'd really like to see get made into a figure is Simon Masrani. Masrani was the owner of Jurassic World and played a pretty big role in the film, being the one to pilot the helicopter going after the Indominus Rex and losing his life after it crashed into the aviary. Simon Masrani was one of my favorite characters from the movie, and it would be nice to have a figure of him in my collection. Moving on to what is currently the final film in the franchise, let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion. Most of the cast from Jurassic World Dominion got figures in the movie's toy line, but there were 2 notable exceptions that I'd like to see to round out the cast, those being Biosyn CEO Louis Dodgson and his communications director Ramsey Cole. I thought that both of them were standout characters from the movie, and I'd love to see them finally complete the cast in action figure form. Dodgson in particular has been a part of the franchise since Michael Crichton's original novel, and it was great to see him in Dominion being portrayed by Campbell Scott. Given how important of a character he is to the series, I'd love to get a figure of him. Moving on to Ramsey, I thought he was a great new addition to the franchise, and given how important of a character he was in the film, I'm surprised he didn't show up in the toy line or even the Lego sets, and I'd like to finally get a figure of him to complete the Dominion lineup. And those are 10 characters from the franchise that I'd love to see join Mattel's Jurassic World toy line. Of course, there are many other characters that I'd love to see get made into figures, and hopefully many of these characters will appear in the main line, or maybe even as future Hammond Collection releases. In the meanwhile, I'd love to hear what characters you guys would like to see in the Mattel line, and with that, I'll see you in the next video.